using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter, though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his way.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great.
Floyd, yeah, because
As fight week closes, psychological warfare peaks and legacy take center stage. Titles, pride, undefeated reputations, everything converges at Madison Square Garden. Both men promise certainty, but certainty rarely survives elite competition. This is where preparation meets reality. One fighter leaves validated, the other leaves questioned. That's the brutality of championship stakes. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
This is where the temperature rises. Canelo Alvarez, a man who has shared the ring with both warriors, delivers the line that shakes the sport: Crawford is way better than Mayweather. That's not social media hype, that's first-hand experience speaking. The weight of that statement echoes because it comes from defeat, not ego. Suddenly, the debate isn't hypothetical anymore, it's personal, credible, and explosive. When a fighter of Canelo's stature makes that claim, the boxing world has to pause. This is testimony from inside the fire.
like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So
Now listen closely, Crawford's reaction might be the most telling moment yet. He doesn't brag, doesn't attack, doesn't escalate. Instead, he calmly reminds everyone that Canelo fought them both. That subtle confidence speaks volumes. It's controlled, measured, almost surgical, just like his style in the ring. When a fighter lets results speak louder than opinions, that's when the narrative shifts from noise to substance. There's no insecurity in his tone. Just quiet assurance that his work will stand the test of time.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the loop in the right hands.
Here's where the debate turns uncomfortable. Ryan Garcia questions whether Mayweather mastered greatness, or mastered timing. The accusation isn't about skill, it's about strategy. Did Floyd protect his undefeated record by choosing perfect moments? That critique cuts deep because it challenges the purity of dominance. When protecting the zero becomes part of the game plan, fans begin to ask whether legacy was built on brilliance or calculation. It forces us to re-examine what we value more, perfection or risk. And that question changes everything.
Out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
Now we get a veteran lens on the issue. Max Kellerman acknowledges Floyd's deeper resume and defensive mastery, yet points out something crucial: selective timing. Meanwhile, Crawford's path appears fearless, even reckless at times. This contrast defines the debate: calculated perfection versus relentless pursuit. It's not just about who won more fights, it's about who embraced more risk when greatness demanded courage. One built an empire through precision. The other is building one through pressure. And fans are split right down the middle.
And contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Crawford's respect for Mayweather is undeniable, and that humility strengthens his case rather than weakens it. He separates money from pretty boy, reminding us that Floyd evolved. Early aggression gave way to defensive genius. By recognizing those phases, Crawford shows ring IQ beyond punches. He's not dismissing history, he's studying it. And that awareness makes the hypothetical clash even more intriguing. He understands that beating Floyd would require solving two different versions of greatness. That's a challenge few would even dare to imagine.
Hear that from someone like him.
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best.
Was ready for the body shots. You know, occasionally the straight right hand to the body would land for Canelo. But, you know, sooner or later, Crawford started getting out of the way of that as well by just pivoting, you know, on the angle and, you know, making Canelo reach. There were spots inside the ring that I saw Crawford.
Technically speaking, this is elite versus elite. Mayweather's jab, timing, and counters were near flawless. Yet Crawford's dismantling of Errol Spence Jr. showcased a modern masterpiece, precision with power. Both men adapt mid-fight, both dissect opponents mentally. The real question isn't skill, it's adaptability under equal pressure. When two ring generals collide, the smallest tactical edge decides history. One mistake could shift 12 rounds. And in a matchup this refined, margins would be razor thin.
Now another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't go off of that. You know, Floyd is the best fighter, you know, in his era.
Crawford's destruction of Spence wasn't just a win, it was a statement. 3 knockdowns, complete control, total domination. That performance didn't just elevate him, it redefined expectations. Mayweather built brilliance through defense, but Crawford blends offense with intelligence. When power meets calculation, it creates a different kind of fear. And that fear is what makes this fantasy matchup feel dangerously realistic. Crawford doesn't just outbox opponents, he breaks them down mentally. That psychological edge could be decisive.
Like Floyd Mayweather.
He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, he's the best in that game. He's the best in, you know, making money and making all the, you know, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own. I had
a lot of the stuff that Canelo was doing, and you know, that I would say this, that work from Boots helped in that aspect because Canelo was reacting to a lot of the counters that Crawford was throwing. Usually in the past, you know, Canelo would stand right there. He would lunge and he would stay in place, keep his feet in place. However,
now let's talk defense, the art Floyd perfected. The Philly shell, the shoulder roll, the subtle head movement. He turned avoiding punches into poetry. Crawford is slick, no doubt, but Mayweather made defense an identity. The debate becomes philosophical. Is it more impressive to avoid damage entirely, or to impose it while staying sharp? That stylistic contrast fuels the endless arguments. Floyd neutralized threats before they ignited. That level of control is rare in any era.
Wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost.
Picture it, prime versus prime. The early rounds tense and tactical, Crawford pressing, Floyd calculating. Mid-fight adjustments begin, and that's where legends are defined. Crawford's angles test the guard, Floyd's counters test the aggression. It could become a razor-close chess match where every clean punch swings momentum. In a fight this balanced, the judges might matter as much as the fighters. Each round would feel like a mental war. And fans would debate every second for years.
But then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted.
Crawford's win over Canelo cements something undeniable. historical relevance. Titles across divisions, undisputed crowns, modern dominance. That victory forces his name into all-time conversations whether fans like it or not. Legacy isn't requested, it's earned through moments like that. And when you defeat the face of the era, your resume stops being questioned and starts being respected. This wasn't hype, it was execution. And greatness respects execution above all else.
We had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd would win that
yes,
fight.
Yes, sir. I
Floyd
love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
When asked about comparisons, Crawford refuses to chase validation. Floyd was the best of his time, I'm the best of mine. That line is powerful because it sidesteps ego. Greatness doesn't always need confrontation, it sometimes thrives in separation. Yet even in that calm response, you can feel the competitive fire. Legends don't compare themselves, but history always will. And history has a way of forcing impossible questions into permanent debates. And then comes the final spark, Canelo doubling down that Crawford surpasses Mayweather. That statement ensures this debate never fades. Until they share a ring, the argument lives on in barbershops, studios, and arenas worldwide. Two unbeaten icons, two different paths to dominance, one impossible question. The beauty of boxing is that some answers can only be imagined. And sometimes imagination keeps the sport alive. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.